It's so nice to meet all of you. Thank you for being with me today.
So nice to meet you. Yeah.
I had the chance to see this film at the Sundance Film Festival towards the end of the fest at the Egyptian Theater, and I went in knowing absolutely nothing and came out, quite moved by the experience. And I'd love to hear from all three of you how you remember this project starting and your initial reactions.
Well, this film is really just based off of a chance encounter that we had. Yeah, I was just driving around the US and trying to find, with my cinematographer, just trying to find like little things for my reel, and I took a wrong turn. Someone told me about Tabby and ended up living with them for 3 years. So that's kind of how it all started. And yeah, it's been the biggest privilege of my life to be able to collaborate with these women and allow me the honor of telling their story.
And how did the two of you feel about having your story told? Did you have any apprehension about that?
It was, yeah, it's a little scary. I mean, it really is. But I trust Kate, and what she made was really beautiful. And I'm excited at the same time that it's almost an out of body experience. I'm looking forward to the week after so I can process.
Yeah, me too. How is it for you?
It was really weird at first, but I love seeing how it makes other people feel, especially when we were at Sundance and it was our first time watching it, and all the people that came up to us. I loved how seeing how it made them feel.
It feels like a particularly good fit for Sundance because it's close enough geographically while still being very far away. And I know that you've since been at Tribeca and other places. Do you find the audience reaction really varies based on where you are with the film?
Kind of, yeah, it does. We have this week, we are having our first like LA screenings. So that's exciting. We were meant to have fun last night, but a water pipe burst at the AMC like 2 minutes before we were meant to have the film start. So we're excited to show this in LA and see, because LA is also my hometown. So yeah, I'm excited to see like what the audience is going to be like in LA. But of course, you can't beat the audience at Sundance. I mean, because they're just movie lovers. They're there for the empathy. They're there to be moved. And so, yeah.
I also think that at Sundance, the next section is a particularly good fit for this film just because the docu-fiction style is something that I feel like I've seen before there. Kate, is that something you knew that you always wanted to do with this film as soon as you knew that this story was important to you?
Yeah. I mean, of course, there's people, who said to me, oh, well, there's such great characters, Tabby and Portia. If you hired a Hollywood actor to play them, you could get a bigger budget because they're such strong, like women. And I was like, absolutely not. I will do this for no money, just to have them tell their stories themselves with their own voices because um, they deserve that. I wanted to see them as an audience member, I think it was like Tarantino or something who said like make the film that for like one audience member yourself. And yeah, I mean, I just basically made the movie that I've been dying to see, and I've been dying to see young girls represented the way Portia is represented, and the fierceness of teenage girls, and also to have a woman who's just as powerful as Tabby, who maybe doesn't look like your average rancher or horse trainer. On screen, to have her be like the face of a Western was really exciting to me.
And Tabitha and Portia, did you feel like you were acting here, or this sort of was just playing a version of yourselves?
I mean, yeah, we were playing a version of ourselves, but it was completely acting too, you know? Like we learned so much and had to use our emotions in a certain way.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most of the script too, yeah, it's fully scripted, except for there's a scene by a fire that is
Not
all,
scripted.
yeah, all improvised, where women are sharing their own story. But everything, I mean, they're amazing. They're actors. They memorize their lines. They work collaborating with
Collaborating.
collaborating with me on certain scenes, so I'd be like, okay, what would you say here? What would you do here? And all of the scenes are stories that they've shared with me from their past. And also, I lived with them for 3 years, so that like we witnessed and all went through a lot together. So what I experienced firsthand, I wove into the script.
Was there anything that surprised either of you about acting that you hadn't expected?
Hmm. Night shoots.
Same.
Night shoots, yeah.
Okay, we just weren't properly warned about them.
Yeah.
I think when people hear night shoots, it's like oh, okay, so we wrap around 10 o'clock at night. Like that's the night. And it's like, no, 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 we start at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah. That kind of threw us off a little bit.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna be doing some night shoots. Okay.
And
Start
how
at
many
4 in
times
the
you'll do
morning.
a scene, huh?
Yeah.
Like how many times we'll maybe retake a scene and how many different versions of it we'll try. Yeah.
What kinds of movies do you like to watch, and do you feel like there are other films that have captured, this part of the country accurately in the past?
I don't think there's really much that has captured this. I mean, depends on what you're trying to capture. They did Dances with Wolves near our area and stuff. I don't know if they were really just going for the beauty of South Dakota or anything, but I don't think I've seen anything like what Kate has put in there to showcase the the rugged, beautiful nature of the Badlands. Like, I don't see that very much in a movie.
I like scary movies.
You have plans to act again? Do you want to do something like this or something very much not like this in the future?
I'd like to do scary movies.
Yeah, I'd like to act. I'd go any direction. Anything with animals too. I could do any kind of job like that. I'll walk your tiger. I don't care. I ain't a
Do you
skip.
feel like, sorry, go ahead, Kate.
No, it's just like I was like, that's a perfect shirt. I'll walk your tiger.
Well, do you feel like, doing what you always are able to do in person on camera, does that change how things are? Because you're usually filming for TikTok or something anyway, it's not really any different in terms of the actual, animal work.
I don't know, the animal work was kind of about the same. I helped Kate with her shots just to show her what, the best angles to catch the horse in this light, or just to make the horse look how she wanted it to, because I'm around him so much. But yeah, the aspect of the difference in it is I'm always behind the camera instead of in front of it.
Yeah, the thing that Tabby also really taught me, and I don't think I've said this in an interview, it just kind of dawned on me now, but the pacing of a horse. So like when there's tracking shots where we're following alongside a horse, or a horse is running up to the camera, or we're doing kind of like whip pans past the horses, for me that was hard for me to shoot because I don't know the rhythm of a horse like these women do. They're born on horses. I'm not. So it was really fun to, and it just speaks to Tabitha's intelligence and instincts with horses, where she would be able to time out what how we're shooting these horses in these fast kind of like epic runs, which was really cool.
Yeah, with a
And you
lot.
mentioned, sorry, go ahead, please.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, the scene with the sun setting behind us and when it would be the perfect moment to have her going across and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, because you were able to time the sunset to how fast the horse is going and telling us how many shots we can get before the sun's down. It was just so cool. You don't really have that with most, lead actors.
Well, you mentioned screening the film, soon in LA, but have you had a chance to show it back home? And if so, how have people responded?
We're actually gonna go show it on the 12th back home. We're having a premiere in Sioux Falls.
Yeah. It was really important for me to have like the kind of premiere. Yes, we premiered at Sundance, but have like more of a premiere in South Dakota to really, I want to say thank you so much to that community for embracing us, and especially me as an outsider to come in. So I'm really excited to show this to South Dakota, and they're really excited to have a film about South Dakota because there aren't many, and so that's what I'm getting constantly. It's just like, I hear that this is, showing my life correctly, and that's a huge compliment.
Well, while it's still just an independent film, I think this obviously will have an impact and be seen by a lot of people, which could also encourage people to come visit and check out, this part of the country. Do you feel like that's something that would be welcome obviously it worked out well with Kate. Is that something that you think could be replicated in a positive, sort of boost in tourism?
Sorry, there's so much tourism in South Dakota already. That'd be great for them. Sure.
Everyone,
Sure, they'd love that.
We live like right next to one of the biggest tourism spots, probably in the United States, Waldrock. Like
yeah, you're dealing with tourists all day
You're
long,
welcome,
especially because
Rod.
yeah, especially because you also live like right next to
and on it
the
right off the
Badlands
interstate, yeah.
too.
So
It's just like yeah, so many
we're
tourists.
just trying to go to the store,
Yeah.
I will say I feel that way going to, it's not the same at all, but going to Hollywood, just for a screening, it's like I'm there for work to do something. I'm not looking around looking at stuff. Obviously you have a little bit more beauty around there in terms of the world and what you're looking at. But I am familiar with Wall Drug, and I know that that's a big stop. And so I think maybe this movie can help promote less tourism. That could be a positive
The thing
feature.
that I am noticing though is everyone who sees this film, will either write to me and they're like, "Is there a way that I could ever ride horses with Tabitha?" And they're just like, "I need to hang out with Tabitha. I want to be adopted by Tabitha." And I'm
just
like,
start a list.
"Yeah, you can start a list. Yeah, yeah."
We encourage that. That's better than the tourism.
I get a lot.
Well, Kate, what's next for you, Kate?
Um, I I love writing and directing. I really love writing my own features. So, yeah, my next project it's different from East of Wall. It's not docufiction, but it still has, a little bit of I use a little bit of magical realism in East of Wall, especially in the Portia scenes. So we have a little bit of that, and I'm taken with me that it's really all about women. I love writing for women of all ages. So in my next feature, you have a kid who's 17 and a bunch of women all the way up to being in their 70s. So the same thing I did for East of Wall with women, I'm excited to put into my next feature. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I wish you all plenty of luck with the South Dakota premiere and the launch of this film and everything that comes next.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.